venture in bringing up our children to know to build a good career in future. So that's how much we have about it. So now we are talking about the flood victims that the what is ravaging everywhere in about how getting to 20-something states of the federation have been besieged by flood, and Imo State is inclusive. And here in Uguta area in particular, that's where the issue is very, very prominent. But I have the Special Advisor to the Governor on Public Enlightenment, Eze Ugochukwu, to come and tell us some of the palliatives they put in place to give succor to the victim because it's a natural disaster. So, sir, you are welcome to 60 Minutes Live.
Good morning, viewers.
So, the day Hajibo Megota area was submerged by flood, what was the reaction of government at the hearing of that situation?
First of all, one of the primary objectives of government is protection of lives. And one of the basic tenets of good governance is empathy, to show that you care for the people you are governing. And those were the two objectives adopted by the government. The Imo State government, under the able leadership of His Excellency, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, has risen to the occasion of the flooding that was experienced in the riverine areas of Imo State. We've adopted three basic approaches. First is to evacuate the victims from the riverine communities into upland areas where we have provided basic accommodation in selected schools for them. The second approach we adopted was to conduct an enumeration exercise in order to be able to identify the potential victims of the flood disaster. And the third step we took was to also provide relief materials to the victims. This we have done. We've visited a high-powered delegation of the government has visited the affected communities, both in Haji, Ebema local government and in Uguta local government, led by the Deputy Governor, the Chief of Staff, the Commissioner for Environment, myself, and the Managing Director of the Imo Oil Producing Areas Development Commission.
Yes, yeah, really itemized, like the most important one that you went, the first thing was to evacuate those who are trapped in that area and brought them to the upland and provided succor. In the area of medicals, what is the health like?
As you might expect, or should I say, as it is obvious, in these circumstances, there will be ailments, especially with the little children that are affected. And as we also went there, we went with our medical team from the Ministry of Health. So in terms of medical intervention, we're also doing something in that respect. Has
there been reported case of any carnage, any loss of life?
Fortunately, when we visited and the survey that we have conducted, there has not been any life lost from the disaster. So we thank God for that.
Have you mobilized agencies like the Red Cross and other volunteers, like even the National FEMA? Have they been able to come? NEMA or SEMA, what are they called?
NEMA, the National Environmental Management Agency has also, they have a branch here in Imo State, and they also accompanied us on the exercise, so they're also doing their bit in terms of assisting the victims. So they're there. Non-governmental organizations, that is not something I'm aware, the level of their intervention is not something I'm aware of, but I also want to use this opportunity on behalf of the state government to also call on both the business communities in Imo State, ordinary people, and non-governmental organizations to also put on their humanitarian cap and find a way to add value to what the Imo State government is doing.
That place is predominantly the oil-rich area of Imo State and extension that of Nigeria. The oil companies operating in that area, have they been able to come out to show what we call social responsibility thing and to talk to their host communities that they are with them under this condition?
Apart from being the oil producing areas of the state, they are also the farming belt of the state. So a lot of agricultural lands were affected by the flooding. Even the fishing activities in the area has been disrupted. So the magnitude of what happened is quite high, and I know that on the day we went there was an appeal by the Minister of State for Education, Right Honorable Goodluck Nana Opia, who is a citizen of that area. He's from Abacheke community. He also used the occasion to appeal to oil producing companies in the area to also come to their rescue and intervene. But I wouldn't know for now whether they've actually made any intervention. Yes.
Okay, I saw the role of the isopathic.
Yes.
I saw foods, I saw certain things that are given to the people. I saw them on pictures through your platform, the Public Enlightenment section. Though I've been trying to put in costs across to the MD, but he's not been picking the cost. So such good gesture being done and given out to the people are what shows that we are human beings and we can be our brother's keeper. How is that thing being coordinated? Because I know we have a Ministry of Humanitarian Services in Imo State. How are they coordinating all these gestures from agencies like Isopathic to be able to take care of the people?
Well, the government is one. Yes, we have different ministries and departments of government, but the government is basically one, and all activities of the government and all the intervention programs of the government are coordinated under the office of the Deputy Governor of the state. Be that as it may, the Imo State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission is a commission specially dedicated to provide, development to oil producing areas, and these oil producing areas are the areas that are most affected by the flood. And they've also risen to the occasion, and they have been moving around, deploying materials, deploying resources to the victims. Part of the things we've done is to evacuate them to schools, as I have said already. We've also provided mattresses. We've provided rice. When we went to Abacheke, for instance, we gave them about 350 mattresses. We gave them 400 bags of rice. We also provided drinking water. We also provided jerry cans for them to store water. We also provided blankets. We also provided hot meals. In fact, as a matter of fact, the governor gave a specific instruction that all the victims in all the respective communities, be it Abacheke in Edema, be it in Eze also in Uguta local government, be it in Eze Obodo in Uguta local government, be it in Uguta proper, must be provided with at least one hot meal per day. And that we've been doing in addition with the relief materials we've already provided.
Okay. In all your statements, you're saying that at the beginning you mentioned the team that visited there, and you're saying that the governor gave directives. So has the governor been able to come there to show the people that my people, this is a natural disaster that is happening on that area? Has the governor been able to visit the community?
The deputy governor led the delegation. The governor is away in Abuja for other matters affecting the state, which are also of concern to the state. As you know, the Imo State is one of the beneficiaries of the Agro-Industrial Processing Zone, which is African Development Bank program, and they will officially launch the program this week. And the governor has taken advantage of the date for the launching of that major project, which is also cited in the community areas in Uguta, to also engage with the development agency. And as soon as he comes back into the state, he will also visit the area. But in the interim, the deputy governor has been there with a very big delegation of the Imo State government.
Okay, the whole idea of this flood thing, is to call for people so that they can be able to assist. But in the next moment, let's just call for a break, and then we'll be able to find out the other areas where the people, what we need for people to assist. Even the religious bodies are supposed to come, because they say you have to be your brother's keeper. So that will be after this time. Unless we have a break, possibly the Team Jew Dynamic Services jingle to.
Team Jew Dynamic Service Limited, a media consulting firm that specializes in image making, media packaging and marketing, with special reference to product branding, management and political packaging of candidates, including political campaigns and management to promote political and business development. We also cover, plan and execute your weddings, birthday celebrations, housewarming, child dedication and much more. Other areas of our expertise include marketing research and polling opposition research, manifesto development, opinion polls, fundraising, empowerment and impactful community programs that produces effective results and changes life, press conferences and much more. For more inquiries, please call 080-841-93946 or follow us on Facebook at Team Jew.
Team Jew Dynamic Services Limited is located at Eze Ugochukwu Plaza, number 2 Onumere Street by Mere Street, adjacent Imbisi Road, Douglas, Owerri, Imo State, Nigeria.
Team Jew Dynamic Service Limited, we deliver your target market beyond your imagination.
Yeah, welcome back to 60 Minutes Live. I'm talking with the Special Advisor to the Governor on Public Enlightenment and the strategy, I suppose.
No, just Public Enlightenment.
Public Enlightenment. And another one will be added because you are really doing well. So we are talking about the menace of flood in Ohaji Eboma Uguta and what the government is doing in bringing succor. So, sir, disaster is not a planned thing, and it is not a government issue. It is something that come up just like an accident. Now government have moved in with the palliative succor, bringing out from people from evacuation. Then provide all necessary things for a day-to-day life running while they are still in that area. We have religious bodies that preaches about your brother's keeper, helping your neighbor. We have other organizations that talks about this. What appeal do you have to religious bodies in Imo State to come to the rescue of their brothers and sisters in Ohaji Eboma Uguta, be it Muslim, be it Christians, be it Orthodox, any other religious body that know that, because they are a large chunk of people in the society and they belong to one religious organization or the other.
Like I said earlier, the government has already shown the way. The government has been empathetic towards the victims, and the government is also desirous of engaging other members of the society to also come to the rescue and be our brothers keepers. Like I said earlier, this is also an avenue to appeal to humanitarian organizations in the state or even beyond the state, to appeal to religious and faith-based organizations, to appeal to industry players and business people, to add value to what the government is already doing and help to sustain the people at this trying period. So my appeal goes out there on behalf of the Imo State government to also partner with us and see how we can do and what we can do to make life better and more meaningful for the victims.
In case these bodies you are appealing to are willing to, who would they contact and how do they reach the appropriate bodies?
I've already told you that the Office of the Deputy Governor of the state is coordinating the state intervention, and I think any effort that they make to reach the Deputy Governor will bear fruits.
What of the Office of Public Enlightenment that is more accessible than that of the Deputy Governor?
Every office of the government is accessible to the citizens, but if they come to me, I will also link them up to the appropriate quarters.
Okay, so much so about flood and what government is doing is good. That's what's expected of government. So now let's look at flood. the what we are talking about now is affecting a particular set of people because it ravaged their homes. And again, roads have also been washed away, and part of the mantra of this government is rehabilitation. How far are there programs or plans to rehabilitate the roads that are being washed away by this flood and other areas of the state?
As far as the affected areas are concerned, only day before yesterday, we, through the auspices of the Ministry of Works, we were able to engage with leaders of oil producing host communities, especially leaders from Avo, Etekuru, and all those along that belt, to also partner with the government to see that the road leading to that area, which the government has already started working on, is fully realized. We've had incidents of damage and vandalization of road equipment belonging to contractors, and that necessitated that engagement with the leadership of the community. Yes, the government is doing something in terms of road rehabilitation in that area, and there is a partnership arrangement between the Imo State government and the Niger Delta Development Commission to tar that road leading into the area.
Yes, one has noticed of other gigantic road projects being carried out by this government, and the time and these rains are here. For instance, Ebu to Mbise to Umuahia end of the Imo State, road construction work has started, which is a good one, as promised by the governor the other time he did the flag off, and that's to say, to commend that the government is really keeping to its words. So you definitely are not the commissioner for works, but you have public enlightenment. Most of these things are on your platform. So what is the progress work so far? Can you be able to ensure people planning that route that December is coming, and whether something fast can be done so that place can be a throwaway to other communities, remembering that the place leads to Abia, Uyo, and Akwa Ibom?
Well, infrastructural development in Imo State is one of the major areas the government is tackling. We've been providing so many infrastructures, global standard infrastructures. We've done the Owerri to Olu Road, a dual carriageway. We've done to the first phase. We've completed and commissioned the first phase of the Owerri to Okigwe Road. We've also started work on the Owerri Mbise Umuahia Road. What the government, this is a 46-kilometer dual carriageway. The government, in order to fast track the completion of that project, has decided to tackle it from two points, from Owerri up the way to Mbise, and from Mbise, Imo Governor, all the way to the Umuahia sector. So they are going on simultaneously. We've already reported on the state of work going on there, and we've had interruptions due to the torrential rain, but they're still at site working, and as soon as the rain abates, we'll fast track the work, and by the time Christmas comes, there will be a noticeable improvement in what we have achieved on those roads. Apart from that road, we're also doing the Olo Akokwa Arondizogu Road leading into Oga, our border community with Anambra State, and that road is also one of the roads that will open up that belt. It's an agricultural belt, and the governor intends to, add value to that area that will help to evacuate produce into the cities. So we are doing that. We are doing erosion control. The second phase of the balloon technology, erosion flood control and channelization in Owerri is also ongoing at the works layout area. What they add there is to take flood water all the way from works layout and adjoining areas into the Warrior River. Okay,
that brings me to, yes, the government is really doing a practical good job. Some of us who can move around can see that. And yes, talking about the roads, they're doing a very big trunk roads. But again, the inner roads in Owerri if you look at the what they call the ring, the what do they call these roads behind the NTA, what they call the tunnel, this ring roads, or what's it called? From what Concord to
the link roads.
The link roads,
okay.
Yes, that were constructed by the former government. So 3 of them are almost down, and the one is only functioning, and they are becoming death traps, even giving way for erosion to take off everything. And also some other inland roads are too bad within this period. Is government talking about palliatives to make them motorable, because cost of maintenance of vehicles are too high.
Anyway, the poor state of that link road is a good reminder to the decades Imo State has suffered, in terms of inadequate infrastructure by previous administrations. As for Owerri Urban, the Imo State government has done not less than 25 roads within Owerri Urban, and still more are still to come. Like this is rainy season, and we are praying for the rain to abate. Already, the Commissioner for Works has already issued a statement about a week ago, telling Imo State what they should expect this dry season, and he has assured that it will be is going to be a very big bouquet of activities. So our people, I can assure them that they will have a wonderful Christmas.
Okay, finally, there's something going on in Imo State, where the capital city, the evacuation of the debris from the gutter out, which is a very good one.
Yeah.
And because for the waters to flow. But again, when you enter in some places like Ikenebu, you see that all those things were brought out from the gutters and they cannot be evacuated. Thereby, the work goes back to the gutter immediately the rain falls. So what is government doing about that?
That assertion is not true. Probably when you pass there was during the period of the evacuation, but they evacuate as quickly as they desilt. So what you see is an attempt by the government to desilt all the drainages in Owerri and to allow flood water to flow easily both into the Owerri and the Otamini River. It's a comprehensive plan that has helped in no small measure to check the flooding in Owerri this rainy season. As you can see, the high levels of complaints against flooding did not arise this year.
Yes.
So they're doing a good job. They also evacuated. They've done more than 400 evacuations already, and the job is still going on.
Okay. I think I agree with you that the Imo State government has done a lot in the area of flood control in the capital city, especially what some of us used to know how it used to be whenever it rains. But today, with the balloon technology thing, immediately it rains, just give it after 5 minutes of the rain, everywhere will be dry again. And that's why I think they said you should evacuate the debris in the gutter in front of your house. So in case, as he has said, please, if you know anywhere that the debris have not been evacuated, if you have my number, call me, I'll tell him, and he will be able to direct or remind those who are supposed to.
You should also appeal to our people, because one of the things we have discovered is the tendency of our people to use the drains as dumping grounds. You discover quite, even in front of residential areas, in front of shops belonging to people, all blocked because they deliberately dump debris inside the drainage.
Okay, sir, Eze Ugochukwu, thank you for being our guest. Anytime we'll invite you, with the shortest possible time, you always oblige us. Thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you so much.
So far, so good. On 60 minutes left, that's how far we can go today. We believe you enjoyed our whatever we're able to dish out today. Join us next time, same station, same program next week for more Bomber edition. And remember that NTA Owerri is digitalized, and it's digitalized. So for you and your campaign managers, for anything you want to know, if you want your candidate or your party to be known, come to NTA Owerri. There are too many programs lined out there to give you reach to your people. And more so, NTA Owerri streams live everything we do. Like now, any part of the world where you are, you will receive us at your home. This is not the kind of station that you can say, you don't have the reach, like some other government of people say, who watches NTA? But If we malign you for 1 minute, of which we are not interested in doing, that's when you know that people watch. But come here, come and sell your product, come and sell your station for the good of the people and the Imo State. So far, I would say God bless Imo people and Nigerians at large.
Quality broadcast services, news, programs, adverts, promos, and jingles. We have the manpower and our equipment all digitized, giving you crystal clear signal and output. Our upgraded transmitter makes our reach fast.